Sorry, Joey, I don't mean to interrupt you. It's just this is kind of cool what's going on here and what they're doing. And they really want the team at Tales of Genesis wanted to talk to our community about what our thoughts were regarding the card that they would like to put out for BitShares. So, do you mind if I hand it off to you, Jasper, and maybe you can talk a little bit?
Yeah, great. Sounds good.
What is a card?
So, hi everybody. I'm Jasper. I'm the game designer for Spells of Genesis. And for everybody that has not heard about it yet, it's a fantasy trading card game on smartphones and tablets. And we're using these cards, fantasy cards, which you use to battle other players with. And on these cards are all kinds of characters represented. And we're building partnerships with various companies, a lot of them Bitcoin oriented, to have all to let them all have their own card. And yeah, it sounded really cool to do something with BitShares. So basically, what we usually do is we look at what the company is and what it stands for, and we try to represent this in a fantasy setting. So this could be anything. We also like the community to give their ideas and to be happy with the card. So yeah, I'm interested to hear if you guys had any ideas or anything.
And I'll let me go ahead. And there's somebody on the forum who had a suggestion.
Yeah, indeed. There is a forum now. We're reading it, and yeah, there were some ideas. We're currently thinking of they were thinking of, and we thought it was a cool idea of having some kind of wizard monk who's reading a big book, which reads graphene magic. So he's kind of the wizard of graphene magic, and he uses this book to create chains. Yeah, that's basically what we have so far.
That's sweet. So it's kind of at present it's I can tell my influence and I can tell the influence of the person who participated earlier. Does anybody else have anything that they would like to talk about that might be needed to be represented that we haven't covered on this card? What might we be overlooking? Anybody like a dragon, maybe?
Yeah, anything is possible at this stage. We haven't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
anything
kind
is
of a fun.
possible. Anything is possible at the moment. Yeah, we don't have done any sketches yet, so we're fully open to any suggestions or any ideas.
Hey, G Chicken, how would you see a decentralized exchange represented? You mean like Master is a goblin and he created the first decentralized exchange in the world of Mua or something like that?
I've seen in the last few years some QR code technology that allows you to do it with a graphic image. So I'm guessing that these are physical cards you're talking about. Some of them could have hidden within them some user issue asset jackpots.
Are these physical cards or are they just on the app?
No, they are not physical. They are only on the app. So they are located on the blockchain. So that's the idea of the game. You play the game with cards from your wallet.
The same principle still applies. You could have hidden user issue asset jackpots in them.
Oh, definitely. You could have sponsors like BitShares could sponsor their own card and people who open up the pack and get a BitShares card, it might give them, 100 BitShares too.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
Now that could be done with all kinds of, cards too. But I guess, Jasper, what primarily are you guys looking for? It seemed like you guys were more interested in like the theme of the card than the mechanics necessarily.
Oh yeah, the mechanics are certainly also interesting. So you can choose if the card is more of like a damage dealer or a healer or a tank, as we call them, which takes damage for their team. A card which strengthens their team or weakens their opponents. These are all the strategies, and the card can fit these strategies. We usually base it on the theme of the card.
Well, I can say personally that the card the way it is, how you've described it thus far, I like the theme. I'm having trouble seeing how it would be because for those who aren't familiar with like a tank is something that takes a lot of damage. Generally in video games where you're like an RPG where you're fighting a bunch of, dragons and stuff, you have somebody who takes damage, you have somebody who deals a bunch of damage and you don't want them to get hit, and you have a healer.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's the three most. Do you guys have another class?
Yeah, we have. Yes, we have also in our game they're based on the elements. We have 6 elements. We also have the ice, which slows down your opponents. The dark element, which weakens your opponents, and the light element, which increases the strength of the rest of your team.
The light element, huh?
Yeah, the light element.
Because and empowering your team would be empowering the community who owns it.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Could you repeat?
Oh, my apologies. I was saying I was thinking of it more of a light card because the the way that the system works, unlike most cryptos where the only real vote and say that you have in the development of the chain as a holder, is to just sell your coins. In DPost based chains and graphene based chains, particularly, there is a representation of that power. It gives the community the power to focus the resources into wherever they want to. And that could be for self-governance with the committee, which is not necessarily funding, but they're putting their funds, their stake-weighted voting into that, or to vote on workers that actually get paid out to continue building and sustaining the ecosystem.
Sounds very
So a light
interesting.
card, I'd say.
Okay,
Well,
cool. Sounds really cool.
do you guys disagree? I'm bringing this to you guys because I want to hear anybody speak up. I'll tell you what I think.
So also maybe some kind of democracy represented in the card might be something.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious how to do it. You know, oh my God. You see, you're talking to somebody who's a little bit biased towards BitShares. So, I mean, it could be possible to have a card that could turn into any of those colors essentially with graphene. Because a BitShares chain could turn evil. I mean, if that's what the stakeholders decided was best choice.
So some kind of multi-element card, for example.
Yeah, what do you guys think? Do you guys disagree with these things?
It's hard to have an opinion if you never played a game like this. So I'm struggling to say anything intelligent about it. If it's a team that fits with the whole decentralized exchange thing, it's more like an enabler for other things. Especially if the whole sidechain thing happens, then it should make all the other currencies easier exchangeable between each other. So it's more like an enabler. So if that's fitting with the light theme and making the team stronger, then I guess it fits.
Yes, certainly we can really do something with that.
Well, here it says, Zeldol says, free cast or replication or control another card. Tess says AGS or PTS card. Well, I don't know. Jasper, I'm sure, could talk a little bit about the potential for that in the future. And G Chicken here says shapeshifter. Oh, sorry. Hadrian says artificial intelligence shapeshifter. So he brought it up another level.
Yeah, sounds really cool. I'm noting it all down.
Now, these are all ideas. Do you guys want us to do you guys want to vote on it or something on a forum post?
So yeah, we got a forum going on. Let me share the link. So I shared the link.
Please participate in this, guys. This is a project that I think us working with would be a wonderful. Not only would it be fun, it would be great for both sides. Yes, Tess, it is possible to create card assets on the BitShares exchange. Jasper, do you want to talk a little bit about, you guys are on Counterparty currently, but one of the people I spoke with, it may have been you, stated that it was possible to actually trade the card assets themselves on BitShares, if not necessarily the asset, the primary, the bit crystals.
Yeah, so currently we are on Counterparty. It wasn't me you were talking to, by the way. This is not really my field. So I'm the game designer.
Sure.
But yeah, there are possibilities. But currently everybody is using Counterparty for our game, so that's what we'll focus on first. Yeah, I don't know what the future will bring, and yeah, so I can't really answer your question personally.
Well, I will just say this. Please, everybody, check out the thread. Let's give a little bit of love to this idea, because this is a card that's going to represent us, right? So let's help them represent us in a way that makes sense for us. And I want to thank you, Jasper, for coming by, and I also want to let everybody know, at some point in time in the future, I would love to play the Games of Genesis card game with some people from here, and maybe screen capture it using something like Twitch or Google, and maybe have it wouldn't be a hangout, so to speak. It would be us all playing the game together and kind of debuting it. So if you guys are interested, let me know. And
Yeah,
with that said,
sounds really cool.
Jasper, do you have any final words?
Yeah, thank you for having me, and thank you for your ideas. And yeah, if anybody might think of something during the coming days, just post it on the forum or on anything else, and we'll certainly read it. Thank you, everybody.